boss?
It's also the final boss of the entire game. It's funny, you start off on Chaos 0, you end off on Chaos, but a different
Yeah,
number.
the Sonic story is
I'm
literally
not going to
18 seconds
spoil the
long.
number. There is another number of Chaos later on. A couple of them, actually. But yeah, this is going to be really cool. We're going to see 3, 2, 1, go!
Alright,
Starting.
gamer. No way, he gave us the countdown. And timer is not started. Nice, let's go,
Timer is
gamers.
started.
Timer started. This run is going to be RTA, just for submission's sake. But first we have Chaos Zero here, a very simple boss. We're going to hit him, and then hit him again, stand on top of him to manipulate him into immediately coming up, and then jump on top of these big old light poles and hit him one last time. Just a simple 3-hit boss fight. We're going into perhaps the most iconic stage in this game. It's debatably, but you know, I like this
difficult stage.
Very difficult stage. This is true. Emerald Coast here is pretty cool. Start out by going out of bounds, going to do this next trick here, which is very annoying, and Alpha hits it first try because he's a gamer.
A newer trick called Whale Skip is coming up. We'll see if Alpha goes for it. And he does the setup, so he's going for it, and he gets the Whale Skip.
And he gets it, let's go! Yeah, so you
bonking
can bounce
off the dash pad.
There. It's so cool.
And good movement around the lighthouse is sub 30. That's good.
Sub 30 Act 1. The 31 check there is really good. One thing you may notice is that Alpha is spamming spin dash a lot, but he's not just like mashing the button. He is doing it in a smart way to what we call task spin dash. So we're doing a 1-2-1-2 rhythm instead of just 1-1-1-1-1-1-1.
Oh wow, this is an extremely good Emerald Coast.
Wow. That
Emerald Coast is faster than I've ever done Emerald Coast. So.
Same, but I'm not much of a Sonic runner, personally.
And he even lost some time there.
That is wild. That was a really good Emerald Ghost.
If he keeps this up, we're going to be looking at a really good time.
Yeah. So we're going to head off to our second boss. There are 2 bosses back to back. This is Egg Hornet. We're in the Mystic Ruins, taking the train. Quite fun. This boss fight is really easy in Sonic. It's not easy in another story, but we'll get there. Egg Hornet is just gonna be us mashing A for like 15 seconds, maybe a little bit less, but
yeah. So
for some reason you could just mash A and he dies.
There is 11 stages similar to Emerald Coast that exist in this game, and we will see Sonic entering 10 of them, connected with some hub movement and some bosses. And we will see these stages re-entered with other characters, which is cool, and you'll see different areas of those stages.
Yeah,
progress through them in different ways.
Big selling point of this game is that the stories are all connected. It's one big story timeline. And of course, it all is one continuous world, so we get to see a lot of areas, which is relevant for this next stage, Windy Valley. Because we're going to clip through the wall here to go through Gamma's section of the stage, a character that you'll see later on. And you won't even see that section because we skip it with him, which is quite funny. But then we'll be in Tornado. Tornado has one trick that's important. Here, if you spin dash right before that little jump panel, you can actually do a homing attack into that spring. Makes it a bit faster. Trampoline skip, let's go. And then you want to explain Windy Valley Act 3 skip?
So there's a skip here where you kind of keep a weird gravity and you kind of just fly in the air and avoid a couple kill planes. Oh, unfortunately, Alpha dies. So the real trick to this is, like, if you just did a spin dash or jumped off in a random direction, you'd eventually lose your hover frames and fall. But with the weird camera and the gravity that you get, you're able to maintain your ball form all the way down at a slightly slanted angle. So with some right movements, you can go down and up a little bit and avoid the 2 kill planes and then just fall perfectly to the end of the stage. It's quite beautiful. Feels really good to hit. He's really far. He's not making that. He's not making that. That's unfortunate.
Oh, that's so sad. That's a pretty ugly way to miss that skip.
Yeah.
That's definitely the worst way to miss it, at least.
Definitely costs the most time here. He's got to hold down for quite some time. Ooh, that was down for quite a long time.
This skip can give you quite a bit of trouble. We're going around 2 big old kill planes there, so if you aren't Really, really careful with controlling Sonic here. You can end up hitting those kill planes, but this looks much
That
better.
looks, yeah,
Looks
very
like
good.
he'll get the
Easily.
distance, yeah. And that's Windy Valley.
Yeah.
We
So
saw very
at
little of
this
that
point
stage.
in the game, we have, after Emerald Coast, we actually unlocked Tails as a playable character. We're not doing it now, but Tails is the first character you are able to unlock in the game, and soon, you know, we've beaten 2 stages now. We'll get to Knuckles soon to unlock, and yeah, we just slowly will see these characters, meet them in the game, and then unlock them in the menu. So it's a
One
casual
thing that's
runner.
really nice about Sonic is that he unlocks all of the characters, so at the end of this run, we can literally just play the rest of the characters in any order. For this run, we're gonna be doing all of the characters just in order, so is what it is. We did
In the
pick up
way,
the light speed shoes there.
so Sonic, when using the spin dash, if you do a spin dash and a jump on a slope, kind of like Alpha's doing right here on the stairs, you can actually get a lot of height. So you don't normally, you know, you're not normally able to just kind of fly in the air like this with Sonic, but using any incline, the more incline the slope, the higher that you are able to get.
And this is Casino. And that was Casino.
And that's Casino. Stage
We
3
just clip out of
completed.
bounds. We use some slope jumps, and then we hit the Chaos Emerald. The stage normally wants you to deposit like 400 or 500 rings to build a little platform for you to go up to the Chaos Emerald. You can just go out of bounds. It's fine. Makes terrible stage into one of the best ones because we just skip it all.
Yeah, and so right there in the story, Sonic and Tails were collecting a couple of emeralds, and we just got 2 of them, one out of Windy Valley and one out of Casino, and then we kind of drop them on the floor and give them to Eggman accidentally. So,
Oops!
yeah, a little bit of an oops there, but it's okay. There's more emeralds just
Oh,
in stages. I've no, what is that? I've
that's
never
some
seen
gravity,
that.
alright.
I have never seen that ever.
So this skip is called Ice Key Skip. In the story, casually, you're going to pick up a little key. We had a similar key. Man, this is unfortunate. We had a similar key to enter Windy Valley, but we can actually skip the ice key by doing a well-timed spin dash and I believe a jump. But I don't know if
The trick's not over there because the door's still going to be closed after the stage, and you still need to get out of the area. So it's a 2-part skip.
Between those 2 parts, we have Ice Cap, where
Wow.
we already are in Act 3, so
That was an incredibly good ice cap.
That was so good.
Instant clip in the
Holy.
sub 11 seconds with no restart. That's really
That
good.
was awesome. So there we can clip through one of the big doors that blocks us from entering Act 3. Act 1 is pretty straightforward. It's just a bunch of spin dashes up to a platform and
Yeah,
then
you
to
kind
a
of skip a
tunnel.
huge section using that spin dash jump on a slope that we talked about earlier. You skip
then,
like some rockets and stuff, and then in Act 2 there's a... You're supposed to go through a section and land on a platform to trigger the door to open, but you can just jump around and clip through the door.
Exactly. And then this skips snowboarding. Sorry guys, we don't see the snowboarding in this game. Tragic. But
Easy
this is
minute
much
and a half,
faster.
Dave.
We do just fall, but you know, faster.
And just like that, 4 stages done already out of the 10 that Sonic needs to complete. But now we will be onto the second part of the ice key trick here to get out of the tunnel. It's quite difficult, but Alpha does it perfectly.
Easy.
And on to meet Knuckles, who is going to get confused with us and punch all of our emeralds on the floor, unfortunately. You know, we just got a couple more emeralds.
Way to go, Knucklehead. Oh no.
Yeah, no, Eggman convinces Knuckles that we're the bad guys, and then while we're fighting, we drop all of our emeralds on the floor, unfortunately, and then Chaos eats them up. And now it's Chaos 4.
Chaos 4 is a boss. I'll see this boss 3 times. Unfortunately, none of them are very good. This is essentially kind of a glorified auto-scroller, which also sucks because right after this is an actual auto-scroller. So...
Okay, so the pattern is Chaos will swim 3 times. On the 3rd time, we'll do an attack, and then swim 3 more times, and then be vulnerable to hit. There's no way around that. The 2nd and 3rd hit out of the 5 are RNG's attacks. So you can manipulate the 1st, 4th, and 5th hits, but you cannot manipulate the second and third, so there's a chance you'll either get the red wave or the blue balls, and we got 2 red waves, and that is the better attack, so no blue balls equals no time loss. Good job.
Yeah, blue balls is a 10-second time loss, because the animation is just way too long.
But this is a pretty good run so far. I mean, everything went pretty well. A couple of movement mistakes and the Windy Valley
big
stuff.
thing was Windy Valley, yeah.
Yeah. The ice cap and the
Otherwise,
casino and the Emerald
really
Coast were
clean
insane.
run.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alpha's gamer. He's a good Sonic runner. Man's crazy.
So Chaos on the final hit does 3 attacks before his final vulnerable phase, so it takes a little bit longer on the final hit. But a 134, very good.
Pretty standard for Chaos 4, and now we have everyone's favorite level.
Yes, but not before unlocking Knuckles, of course, as we just met Knuckles, and
So
Knuckles
true.
decides to snap out of it and be like, you know what? I'm not going to be dumb anymore. I'm going to help you guys out. We're the good guys.
Not dumb. Anyways.
And hastily, in frustration, Tails and Sonic together are like, you know what? We're going to go chase down Eggman. Eggman just reveals this gigantic egg carrier he's been working on. It shadows us in the sky, and then Tails is like, you know what? Let's go to get the tornado, and we're gonna take down Eggman. So here we are, flying through the sky.
I didn't realize you were a lore master, Space. Damn.
I am. I mean, the game has frozen.
Not the dolphin plushie, bro. The game has frozen. Does he know, Chad?
Does he know that the game has frozen?
Oh no?
The dolphin has frozen the game. Alpha needs to click back. There we go.
That's actually kind of sad.
Was he not moving the whole time either?
I don't know.
Just like a 30 second.
He was just standing still.
Yeah, extra sky chase.
30-second time loss. That's good.
How come the music kept going? That was weird.
Good question. Unsure. Anyways, do we have any donation?
Oh, actually, I think we do. Let me take a look. Oh, wow. Yeah, no, we got some. All right, we've got a donation from Allegro that says, Yahoo Whoosh. Yahoo Whoosh. Good luck to the Alpha Dolphin and the other relay runners. Yeah, that's nice. Thank you, Allegro. Appreciate that.
So true. Shout out to Allegro.
Shout outs to Allegro. We got a $2 donation from Dawn SR that just says, Alpha Dolphin!
Shout out to Dawn SR, my favorite YouTuber.
So yeah, the first Sky Chase, there definitely won't be another one of these. Yeah, we're realizing now at this moment, Sonic and Tails are like, well, we're a little bit in over our heads here. There's like way too many planes flying around, and where are we even going to land this thing? So, luckily, the giant egg carrier, with a mind of its own, decides, you know what, I'm going to put them out of their misery. It's time to blast them out of the sky.
Way to go, Tails!
Yeah, here it is. Egg carrier, you're going to charge up the laser beam.
Nothing needed. Awesome.
And blasting our tornado plane. No, not the right wing. No, it's always the right wing. And we're tumbling down to Earth. Nobody would be able to survive this, but of course we just do.
Fine.
Yeah, easily. And
now we meet Amy for some reason. I don't know why she's here. I think she's getting chased down by an evil robot.
yeah, but Sonic's got better things to do, so he's like, Amy, stop bothering me. But he does promise to go on a date. So at this point in time, Tails continues to actually like save everybody's life while Sonic decides to go on a date with Amy.
He goes on a roller coaster.
Yeah, he just goes.
This is Twinkle Park.
There are no emeralds here, but I'm just gonna spot. There's no emeralds. He's not getting any emeralds right now. He's just in Twinkle Park.
Shout out to Coaster Skip and Space Launch. Nice. So this
Ooh.
first half of the stage is a lot of kart racing, and the kart speeds up when you get more rings. We need a certain amount of rings to do two of the strats there. First was Coaster Skip, or not Coaster Skip, Jesus, Track Skip, where we can cut off this big ol' portion of the stage, and then we can do Space Launch, where we just clip through a wall and go to the next little bit.
Here's another major skip in the stage. Here is Roller Coaster Skip, and he gets it. You have control of Sonic for a little bit of frames there, and if you homing attack out of the way, you do not get sucked into the roller coaster. The roller coaster, of course,
that's a big time loss if you miss it.
Yeah, if you get sucked in there, unavoidable 14 seconds, it sends you all the way off to the different part of the stage. And with a really good spin dash hover, you are able to cross that gigantic gap and do a couple more spin dashes up the building and finish the stage just like that, hitting a capsule, freeing the animals. On to stage 6 now, Speed Highway, really flying through it.
Speed Highway is the second argument for the most notable stage. Here we're going to do a quick clip out of bounds to enter Speed Highway from a different entrance that two of our other characters will be using. Or one of our other characters.
There are multiple ways to enter some of these stages. Speed Highway, one of them, and you prefer to not enter Sonic's entrance because it's slow.
Yeah, Sonic has to pick up this big old card. It's really annoying. But in this stage, we're going to do a quick hover. Hovering in this game is pretty simple. It makes you jump higher whenever you hold A. We have a certain amount of where if we hold A while charging a spin dash, we can do something called a hover. Or a spin dash hover. If you hold A, you will just like float across big gaps, and it's really useful in this stage to skip a pretty big section. Then we're just going to go to that rocket, and we get into Act 2, where we run across this building. Do a spin dash, grab the speed shoes because it's faster, and then otherwise we're just falling down. Big ol' chase, big ol' cinematic sequence here. Jesus,
going
Alpha,
into the
why
wall
do you do
here
that?
To get a little, because it keeps traction on the floor with Sonic.
It's actually faster, dang.
It is actually faster. Yeah. But here there's no collision. Yeah, no collision over the building, so you can just jump right over that. Of course, using the trick where you spin dash off of the slopes to get the height, and there we go, freeing more animals. Sonic just kind of gave up on the whole story of the game. He's like, you know what? This has been going a little bit too fast. I'm just gonna go beat some random stages. So he uses his excuses trying to find Amy. Like, Amy, where are you? As you'll see right here, he's gonna be like, Amy, where could she be? But he clearly doesn't care. I mean, just look at his attitude.
Exactly.
He just likes going around and just beating stages fast.
Sonic is a speedrunner, it's confirmed. Thank God. But yeah, we're gonna chase Amy down into Red Mountain, because I believe Zero here boards the egg carrier, and we're gonna chase it down. We're gonna grab the most useless item in the game, but we do actually need this. This is the Ancient Light, which allows us to light speed dash on enemies. I haven't even talked about the light speed dash because we haven't used it, but this is what it is.
Yeah, we got the power up in the sewer earlier before Casino, but
probably won't see it again.
Yeah, there is an upgrade called the Crystal Ring that makes the light speed dash charge a lot faster, but Alpha did not get it. You do not need it to beat the game, so Alpha opts not to get it. And here we are in Red Mountain doing an extremely difficult trick called the Rock Slide, where you do a hover off of a really inclined slope to get height, do a precise spin dash jump off a tiny little slope, and manipulate the camera in a way that's very difficult. Flies through the rest of the stage, jumps across the rock gap.
That was so clean.
And he's 28 into Act 2. It's insanely good.
That's awesome. Yeah, Red Mountain is pretty difficult, I would say.
When you don't have an incline, make one. So you stand on that rock, you make the rock slip a little bit, and there you go. Jump off another incline. Avoid some fire hitbox, and look at that.
Sub-1 story style. That's crazy.
50-second Red Mountain.
50-second Red Mountain.
Once again, faster than I've ever done it.
Once again, not much of a Sonic story runner, so I don't think it's that impressive that it's faster than I've ever done it.
There is a mouse creeping on the screen. I'm wondering what part of the game is that. Chaos?
I think that's Scoob with his restreaming. Shout out to Scoob Master. Anyway.
Yeah, so Sonic gets to the end of Red Mountain, and he's like, wow, I didn't think this through. That guy's in a gigantic spaceship, and I'm on the ground. What am I going to do? And then that's when Tails, who you don't know how or why, but he's like, hey, what's up? I'm back. You don't know what I've been up to because I've been doing Tail Story things. But guess what? I've got the Tornado too. And he just comes in with the plane, and they're like, we're getting Amy this time. And here they are. You know, Sonic, like, just not thinking anything through, like, chicken with no head. But Tails coming in clutch with the plane, with the strats. And,
Tails really does carry Sonic through this story, huh?
oh, big time. As we'll see that coming up with Yoshi Puff after, if Sonic can manage to get through whatever he's got to do left. I mean,
Alpha Dolphin's leaving. He's gone. Yeah, that's honestly how Sky Chase is. It's actually a really nice break in categories like this. That's like an hour and 40 minutes long. Pretty nice, pretty epic. Regardless, I think I'm hearing that we have another donation.
Hope you know
So,
what you're doing.
Anonymous with no comment donates $50 and says, we have a $50 donation from Anonymous with no comment, with a comment that says, we have a $50 donation from Anonymous with no comment, with no comment. Thank you, Anonymous.
wow. That was my favorite donation ever.
You know, that actually happened in an event, in an event, and I think it's actually my favorite Games of Quick Clip of all time. It's actually so good. We also have a donation from Sacer saying, change the stream title, please, smiley face. Dang. Sacer hates us. We're banned from Sacer.
Yeah. Rip.
Also, if you're wondering, yeah, we just put the tornado in the top right corner. Or bottom left corner, I think, also works. Maybe all of the corners work. I don't actually know that for sure, but I'm top right corner gang. And we just don't take much damage, if any. We can just AFK.
Yeah. So Tails was like,
bad?
Sonic asked Tails, he's like, yo, wait, this is like the same situation as before. And Tails is like, yo, don't worry, I hit the button. And then the button happens, and now he's like a really cool ship. Oh, real quick, $2 donation from Don SR again that says, okay, I was in the middle of the Green Forest wall run and died because of that Anon read. Rip to Don's run.
Don's run is dead. Also, for some reason, they decided to put a boss in an auto-scroller. We have the egg carrier cannon.
And that's okay, leave it up to Tails to just, you know, equip the ship with a laser beam to fight back the egg carrier. Coming in clutch.
It's more like a rubber band gun, but, you know, I respect it.
The water gun.
Wow, this thing is
The water gun. But now we're on the egg carrier, and we're gonna enter the next stage. And hopefully not soft lock, which is possible, but hopefully not. Hopefully Alpha knows to play it a bit safe. Regardless, Skydeck is very punishing in this game. This must be the way to the Skydeck. There we go. No soft lock. Let's go. So.
Stage 8. Yeah, so this stage is incredibly difficult. There's a lot of things going on. You try to bounce off some of these rails to get some extra height. There's a lot of skipping some enemies and big gaps to fall through if you mess up. So luckily.
Yeah, thankfully, Act 1 is probably the most punishing because it's over a big old death pit, so if you mess up some of the platforming, you do have a decent chance of dying. Of course, you can recover, but it is harder. Thankfully,
remember some of these sections in these stages, because we will see them again later, but Sonic skips most of that section 100%. Into Act 2 here. Which, if anybody's played this game, might remember this stage as being this part of the game very annoying.
Yeah,
gravity
this
pushes
part
you
of
up
the
to the air.
stage has a wind mechanic for some reason, where you can just get pushed and
one cycles that
boom,
cannon.
Instantly kill that cannon. Very nice. That is a lot more annoying than it looks. And then we're in Act 3, where he's going to try to hit this capsule while the ship is tilting, gets it, and boom.
There's a whole gigantic section there that they want you to do, but you can just jump over an invisible wall and touch that capsule before the ship tilts.
Yeah.
There you go.
It's really, really cool. Skydeck, that was a really fast Skydeck, actually. A 112 is pretty solid.
And now that we are on the ship, we've beaten the stage on the ship. Now, all of a sudden, Gamma has a little robot boy to send at you. This is Gamma. Very cute little robot thing right there. We'll see more of that later. Unfortunately,
again.
extremely
love
easy to
Gamma.
beat.
Yeah, the character fights in this game, not particularly hard. You just hit them 3 times. You'll see character fights a lot more in this game, don't worry. I believe now Alpha is going for Captain's Quarters clip, where he will spin dash against this wall and clip out of bounds to
Changing
hit
the
this
ship
button
back.
to change the ship. For some reason, Eggman has a button under his throne room that just changes the ship's orientation. Don't know
Yes.
why. Eggman's
Sonic
a weird
finally
man.
decided to help out with the game, and now all of a sudden we find out Chaos has 6 emeralds all of a sudden. How did this happen? We don't know. This
Story stuff.
Yeah, it must have
Fine.
happened at some point, but I don't know. Chaos is only 1 emerald away now, and it's pretty scary looking.
He is weird. I don't like him. He's weird. Here
Yeah.
we're gonna use the light speed attack to take out Chaos. We can 2-cycle him by using it, and the dreaded 4-cycle, we'd never want to see it. Just freeze him up using the things that Eggman gives us. I don't know why he's giving us Chaos's weakness, but you know, it's go off King. And that's Chaos 6 done. Not as big of a threat as he would seem.
Yeah, and now at this point in time, the ship is going down, and Sonic takes a tumble, and we fall in front of Lost World, and we're like, huh, why is this door opening?
old
Let's
temple?
just go in here. Yeah,
Why
there's
not?
really no reason why. He's just like, I'm just gonna go in here and beat this for some reason. Like, there's nobody tells him to. Just kind of does.
I could have sworn it was Knuckles. Because
Maybe.
I know Knuckles is there at that point. Regardless, we saw Flame Tunnel with minimal issues.
Oh yeah,
Knuckles
says he's gonna take care of Chaos 6, and that Sonic can go. That's what happens. So.
Got you.
So Sonic leaves out.
They're talking
Amy
too much about
leaves.
lore, dude.
The lore is important.
True.
We're playing all stories here.
It's true. So Lost World here is probably one of the most challenging Sonic stages. Definitely one of the most demanding. We saw a lot of skips. Oh, missing waterfall
It's
skip.
a more difficult version of waterfall skip.
Yeah, that trick is really rough. So we just do. Oh no! Also dying to the water. Yeah, this stage has a lot of really challenging platforming because of these very small little platforms that we're trying to go fast on, but of course going fast is dangerous. Trying it again.
No way.
Hopefully we see it.
Nah, he goes through the safer way.
Good. That was good. That was solid. Let's skip a big old chunk of the stage that otherwise is quite long. This is the Rock. Is he going for lull skip? It looked like he was. Yep, he is going for it. This skips a big portion of the stage if you get it, and unfortunate, just not enough on the.
Yeah, you have to land on a very, very tiny object, and then hit a 2-frame window spin dash jump, which is
it's really rough.
Yeah, and that's only if you are. It's only a 2-frame window if you have the perfect setup. So if you don't set up perfectly, it's not 2 frames. So here you get gravity on these walls when these panels line up, and you could kind of just like
they're very trolly.
Abuse them a little bit to just skip the entire section. They want you to do some puzzle there or something, but we don't do that.
It's a puzzle where you just mash the switch a bunch, which isn't really great puzzle design, but I guess it's puzzles.
And now we got a little hint at Tikal and a little bit of the lore and what's going on with some of the Echidna.
Yay, more lore!
And the Chows and how it all ties in. But we don't know too much about it because they only really tell Knuckles.
True.
Since he is the last of the Echidna.
Exactly. And now we're heading into stage 10, the final stage of Sonic.
After Lost World, Sonic's like, whoa, there's a gigantic city over there that looks like Eggman's face and wasn't there before. So he decides to go over to it, and yeah, now we're in the final egg.
The final egg. These big old washers can definitely mess you up. They have a tendency to throw you out of bounds. Hopefully no commentator's curse. Awesome. And then this is Act 2. We're going to turn around and go out of bounds. Because for some reason there's just no collision there. You can just turn around, spin dash up the wall. That's Act 2.
Yeah, as you saw with like
elevator.
Windy Valley and Ice Cap stages that you finish going way down, you kind of just tend to fall.
Alpha did the swag strat where he spin dashes through the elevator wall and just falls down to the end. There's a much safer strat there where you don't spin dash through the elevator wall, but yeah, you just fall down to the end of Final Egg. Yeah, that's it. That's the stage. Final Egg is actually really easy for the most part.
And now we confront
God.
Eggman, who is in this gigantic contraption, and we're doing it at about 29:15, which is gonna be a 31 time if no death happens here.
Yeah, for sure. I will mention, we are playing on 63 FPS, which makes the game a bit faster. But, it doesn't impact IGT timing, because we have a frame counter, and that's pretty epic. This game is not timed with RTA, because load times can be very funny sometimes. Regardless, Egg Viper here, very deadly boss, surprisingly. Sonic games tend to have pretty easy bosses. This is not one of them. I don't like this boss very much. Alpha's going for these quick hits, where as soon as Eggman becomes vulnerable, he'll just spin dash jump over to his cockpit and give him a good old kiss on the lips and deal some damage. Which can also be very risky, because sometimes the game will just launch you in a way that doesn't let you recover to the stage. Hopefully we won't see it, but honestly, it's not a big deal if we do. Wouldn't be a big time loss. Definitely nice having this having 0 lives here, because it doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter at all. It's pretty epic.
Yeah, so Eggman actually changes up the pattern of how he attacks in this fight. It's actually a pretty interesting, difficult fight for a casual runner. That
That
scared
was
me.
scary.
But you actually lose more and more ground here. So you only have a certain amount of tries, because he breaks 2 floor panels every time he pops up from this point on. And at the minimum, you only have 4 platforms left at the end. So if you mess up even twice, you just cannot win. So yeah, so you only have 4 platforms left, and it's the final hit right here. So
it's definitely scary, but it's not over yet. We did deal the last hit of damage, but he's up to something,
not
and
done
Alpha's
trolling us yet.
monologuing. But if we just stand still, doesn't matter.
Right there, and
Eggman can't hurt
time
us, and
right there as
that's
he dies.
time
That
for
is time.
Sonic Story.
31-34.
We're gonna swap out now. It's gonna be Yoshi Puff on Tails Story. I believe we're gonna have 2 new commentators. Labris and Alpha will be commentating this. So, let's hop on out
All right, and right into Tails.
and enjoy Yoshi.
See you there.
Yo.
Yo.
Hello? Are we back? Ooh. We got some pretty good gameplay going, I'm pretty sure. Very soon.
Yeah. No. Oh, we got gameplay. So right off the bat, we're going to get the jet anklets, which make Tails play a lot faster. So it enables basically all of the skips we do in Tails Story, which there are quite a bunch. You can see on the speed on the way in, the speed on the way out are drastically different. And that's why we go out of our way to go into the sewers to get the upgrade in the first place. Coming up on is our first boss, Egg Hornet, which is the same as Sonic, but Tails has quite a difficult time. He doesn't have a homing attack, so what he has to do to one-cycle Hornet in much the same way is to jump cancel about like 8 or 9 times, depending on who you are, how you feeling.
Oh, it looks like we're good. Oh no, the soft lock! But I think it's still fun. It's still fun.
It's still fine. It just loses you 8 seconds. It's
This
just
is funny.
yeah, no, this is rare time loss, but like you basically gotta kind of chill, and then it'll explode. Sometimes I'm not entirely sure why that happens, but it can.
So right here, we're gonna go into Windy Valley. We're gonna get the Windy Stone right there to place into the socket for it as fast as we can. Obviously, with a key, jumping or flying is not possible. You can jump, but it's going to be pretty slow. So we're going to just run to it while placing the key in the holder there, and then this is one of the stages that I guess is the fastest with Tails. It's really easy to skip it. for the amount of content that is in the stage. You can basically just fly to the end. Ooh, a little bit too close to the kill plane there. But it's just really slightly. Sometimes the angle can be a little bit difficult, and I'm pretty sure Yoshi here is going for a very rough strat, which is a 16 or a very low 17 strat, which is, you know, you don't necessarily do that when you want to play safe. Very nice time, 17. That's great.
1785. You can't really ask for much better.
So right here we're gonna go fly, and we're gonna return into the train to go to Casino, which is, you know, a pretty cool stage, I'd like to say. Normally you have to race Sonic and go through ventilation and everything, but if you're really quick at the very start of the stage, right after the black screen, and you fly, you can go directly on this bar here, and then... whoop, oh, a little bit. There we go. You can just go clip directly out and go to the end in around 9 to 12 seconds, which is, you know, directly into the average of a good Casino. Good job, Yoshi Puff. Very nice, very nicely executed.
Yeah, there are many ways to finish Casino in an absurdly short amount of time. But here we are coming up to one of the longer levels, Ice Cap. For that, we're gonna hop into the train to get back into the Mystic Ruins. We just kind of left the Ice Stone down there. We don't need it. Tails, much like Sonic, also has an Ice Key skip. Goes for the clip that saves a second over waiting for some invisible walls to deal
Oh,
out.
wow. What a nice clip. Wow.
Nice. Very, very good Ice Cap entrances from Yoshi there.
No, this is the funny slope right there of the run. This is normally what indicates if you're gonna have a good Tails run or not. Ice Cap can be, I guess, very, very bad to you. But if you execute it well, it's a beautiful looking stage, and just there's so much in there. So first here, we're gonna go for a first clip. I'm pretty sure Yoshi has a good alignment. That's nice, very good, beautiful.
Nice.
And here we're going to be dropping for around a couple seconds, just until we can see the ramp, and then we're going to jump on the side of the ramp and jump another time on top of the ramp to execute what we call, or refer as a super jump. And a super jump is essentially not having any animation whenever you're getting a jump from the ramp there, and being able to control it. And then you get full speed directly to the other ground. And there's a little bit of a slope that curves a certain type of way, and then since it goes a little bit lower than the other spots, you can basically just keep full momentum from the super jump, and you can do it basically twice. Yoshi here went for only one clip, but there's two clips possible that are basically tasks, and we'll see here if Yoshi can get the second ramp, and yep, beautiful. 120 is a very solid time.
120 first clip, that is very, very good. Yoshi definitely showing the board prowess he presents on the IL boards as well. And if you can get your way in, you can get your way out. On to fight Knuckles. Get your own nose ready. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Somebody better have the sign.
It will be the case, it will be the case.
Yeah.
It's a little bit hard when we're just commentating and we cannot really have a vision on us, but you can be sure that there's going to be someone with the sign, or just I can just hear the crowd just saying, "Oh no!" I mean, it's implanted in the brain, you know.
Yeah.
That's how it is.
Well,
But anyway,
that was the last oh no we're gonna see from Knuckles, at least.
Oh, true, actually, because after that we're fighting Sonic with Knuckles, so it's completely different.
No, he also that's also oh no, but like different. It's just
Yeah,
not the same, man.
It's not the same. It's not the same. It hasn't been the same. Very sad. Here we have the Blue Monster, back again, Chaos 4. A little bit of an auto-scroller from, I guess, how people can describe it, but it's really, really fast, especially with Tails. Way faster than Knuckles or Sonic. Sonic has an average of finishing time of maybe a minute and 35 seconds to maybe a minute and 40 something, if you have one blue ball or something went wrong or something. Knuckles has an average of in between 1 minute and 30 seconds to 1 minute and 32 or 33, and Tails is like 115 to 118 normally on the average. So 116 for Yoshi, very good time.
You like donations?
Ooh, do we have some donations in here?
I know what Yoshi was trying for there. I'm not gonna spoil it, but that's for Sky Chase 2.
So here we're just vibing, just being on the plane, going places, going around space, or the skies at least for now. And there's a few planes that are just going to the direction. It seems like Yoshi is going to take a handbrake because those double taps on A are very demanding sometimes on Tails. It don't look like it, and it
Yeah,
doesn't
no.
seem like Sonic. It doesn't seem like Tails is as demanding as Sonic, but if you play it for a long time, it can be really, really, really rough on your hands. So definitely deserve to be on Sky Chase. Absolutely.
Yeah, I wonder how like the tornado like handles all this like exhaust.
Ooh,
Because like if you think about it, the egg carrier is moving forward, which means it has to propel matter out of the rockets backwards. And if you're directly behind the ship or even anywhere near it, the tornado's
Yeah.
staying intact.
I mean,
That kind of go crazy.
these turbos in the back are definitely the most powerful turbos you've ever seen in your time. I mean, for sure. And you
Yeah,
can
no.
see, by the way, the plane is made that is definitely going to crash at some point. You can see on the left right there, like right under the first half of the plane, that there's a little bit of a hole, right? And that is not good for plane design, I would say, because I mean, if Tails, I don't know, wants to have a drink or anything, I mean, there's a hole there. You cannot place the drink there. You just cannot have anything, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, so we're approaching the end of Sky Chase, and we're gonna get into a very cool part of the game. It's one stage, but I do think it's a very underrated stage. People tend to throw it into that is not a hard stage at all, and you know I kind of do it like easy anytime I want, but to do it professionally or in a speedrun sense, it's actually way harder than it seems, in my opinion.
Yeah. When the goal is not just going through the gates, Sandhill, which is coming right up, can be actually quite difficult to do optimally. The goal in the boarding stages in general, I should have mentioned, is to stick to the ground as much as possible. You are, while you are tails off a snowboard, the floor is lava. When you are tails on a snowboard, the sky is lava, and everyone hates that minecart. You'll see it more. Nobody can get into that minecart. It's just impossible. So here, Yoshi's gonna probably hit the switch, line up, and then to skip the sand draining and just kind of yeet themselves in there.
Yoshi's clubs this run have been buttery, just very, very smooth.
Yeah, no. Do we stick here though? This is like the big
Hmm.
question.
Oh, yeah,
yeah.
slipped away a little bit. Unfortunately, it's really, really hard to slip there. It's almost RNG. At least I'd say it's luck based. It's so hard that it might as well be luck based.
Yeah, there's so much going on that it's like, well, I might get it.
Very good angle there, though.
Beautiful
Yoshi's
sandhead
just so
looking at a
good.
41. No, not
40.
40. Yeah.
Yoshi is just so good at sticking to like very straight lines. It's so hard. It actually is way harder than it seems.
Yeah. If you've ever played this game casually, you'll know that the snowboards are not the greatest to control. Yoshi making light work of them. Sadly, that's the last we'll see of any snowboarding or sandboarding gameplay. Oh,
And right
wait.
now, we're gonna see the upgraded version of that already very, very powerful weapon in the air, which is the Tornado, but the Tornado 2 now.
Yeah, it's got a Chaos Emerald this time, so I think it has a chance.
It probably has a chance this time.
Yeah, maybe. Like, depends.
I just hope we're not gonna see Sky Chase 3, because at this point it's like Tails should probably just give up. That would be my way of, at this point, like if 2 times don't work and with a Chaos Emerald it doesn't work, like maybe
It's
you
like
should
you have
go
it.
home, drink something, watch TV.
Yeah, like you have an infinite power source. Like, what is? If you can't do it with an infinite power source, what can you do it with? You know, like
Yeah, I mean, it shouldn't be possible. I mean, right now it looks pretty possible because the Icaria is now going the other way. So you can see that now you can approach it from the front.
maybe that one.
So I guess I can explain that. Since it's probably the last Sky Chase that we're gonna see. Actually, not probably. It's definitely the last Sky Chase we're gonna see. Normally, if you were to grind full all emblems, pretty much, or 130 emblems, you would be forced to have a certain score amount to get the second mission of each Sky Chase. For the first Sky Chase, it's 8,000 points, and for the second one, it's 20,000 points. It's a bit difficult to execute, but the smaller the resolution of your game, you are able to kind of have an advantage because the beam will be easier to connect to the other planes, which is essentially just creating combos and reaching the point where you're at probably at 6,000, I'd say, right before going into like the other section of the first Sky Chase, and for the second Sky Chase, I would say maybe 14,000 on average would be good to reach the second goal. It's a pretty fun thing to do. Unfortunately, we don't do it in the run because
Yeah.
we wouldn't get the mission. I mean, if we were on the same game right now, we would definitely get the same mission, which could be probably something cool to do.
Yeah, if you do the score emblem as Tails, you get the emblem cutscene, which loses a couple seconds. So you kind of have to just chill, but make sure you don't hit 20k or 8k, as the case may be. So yeah, pacifist mode is the way to go. But yeah, after this, it is jam-packed to the brim with gameplay from story to story. No more minutes long auto scrollers from here. It's gonna be gaming. Into gaming. Into more gaming. Are people ready for this? Are people ready for Skydeck?
I don't know. I mean, Yoshi is the king of Skydeck. I don't like to admit it, okay? Because I have a big Tails ego when it comes to stuff, but he is unbeatable in Skydeck. I think my best time is like a 2096. Yoshi has done a 2091, and I still don't know his tricks. I tried to see in the lineups everything. I analyzed. It's just so good. So I hope we can see a great showcase from this part. Skychase is a very hard stage to execute with Tails. Probably the hardest, if not, well, I mean after Ice Cap, because Ice Cap is definitely the most demanding, but Skydeck is still like very, very hard.
Skydeck, you see all this platforming that you had to do with Sonic, and then you just play Tails, and you just kind of, yeah.
Good lineup. Skipping the red pillars there. Very, very good line.
Just barely overshooting that nut. That you do want to like barely skim off it.
Yeah.
So you get your flight back as you fall off. But it's okay. You can still do the same thing off the girder.
Oh my god. Yeah, Skydeck can be very mean to you in runs if you're not careful or if you're going to try and go too fast. Right the section that Yoshi Puff kind of landed there to get some momentum back for flying. You need to be holding neutral stick and be very, very close to the ground and jump right away if you don't want to get reverse speed. And there's an enemy on the side that will absolutely have a great fun just in hurting you, and you don't really take rings in Skydeck, so if you get reverse speed, there's a 90% chance around that you will probably die to the enemy, so...
Sorry, Gamma. I'll get to you later.
Yeah. And now coming up to probably the fan's favorite part of Tails, I would assume, right?
Yeah, no. We're just gonna let this one explain itself. So in Windy Valley, we were falling downwards. But what happens if you just fall like this?
Ooh, that is such a good angle. I think this is good. So what Yoshi did right there is called a gravity glitch. in this ramp right there, there's a speed pad and there's a couple of jet things that will make you have a certain amount of speed leaving the ramp. And Tails can directly fly instantly if you go off of any platform or any types of ground that has some space in between, that has like a little bit of airtime, right? Around like the ground and a platform on the edge. So if you press A on the edge at the right time, then Tails will start flying. And since the slope is inclined up, that means that Tails will start flying upwards, and then you can still turn your direction, which means that you derivate a little bit from the normal angle, and then you can maintain an angle that is basically sideways, and then go directly to the end.
Egglocker's funny.
Oh, yeah.
So what Yoshi is doing here to make it a little glitchier and a lot faster is he is using a debug function left in by the devs, where if you just press the Y button, he'll advance in like a series of animations. So right as Eggman gets up from this hit here, he's gonna press Y a couple times, and boom, it'll skip a long like preparing to jump animation as well as a lot of other things.
And a 39, beautiful.
Yeah, no, not a bad time at all.
And this
Up
is
next,
Tails. So we're gonna get to the credits, and we're gonna soft reset, and we're gonna get directly to Knuckles, ladies and gentlemen, which means that we will get Shovel Claws on board. Shovel Claws being a great runner. Oh, Shovel Claws webcam right there. We're getting ready, and there we go. Alright, Labris, are you staying with me to do comment in Knuckles?
Yeah, we're doing this.
I've been living.
Let's go. I'm so happy.
Knuckles has been living.
Oh, he has been living for a while now. And it's time for him to just go around in his way and find the Master Emerald, you know? The classic, the quest.
Every level, with a one notable exception, there are 3 pieces, and they are randomly generated in batches of 3. So each piece 1 is distinct, and then one from a batch of piece 2s, and one from a batch of piece 3s. Not a bad set. There's a whole another area of Speed Highway that Shovel could have gone to. That could have housed the piece 2 and the piece 3, but we got pretty lucky here. A lot of Knuckles is a lot of reaction because the radar activates for all 3 pieces at the same time, so you kind of have to have your whereabouts, and it's especially obvious in our next stage, Casinopolis. We're just going to do some glide excels because gliding has a faster top initial speed, but running has a faster top speed. So,
Oh, interesting. We're going the right route there. Claws will probably go to the enemy there and then hit the spring to go check if it's Vault or Lion. It's Vault, so I think we're going to see a clip here. Very nice. There's a little bit of a collision there that makes you able to clip. And it's so much faster when you're hitting the spring, because when you're hitting the spring from the ground, you get a lot of airtime, right? And you get very high. So from that exact height, you can just fly directly into the vault. But Shovel Claws there had to check for Lion, which means that unfortunately it had to take a little bit of some time and get a little bit lower in terms of height. And it's a little bit unfortunate, but I mean, still very good execution.
I don't think good. You can punch there and unlock yourself as Knuckles from just standing there staring at Cream, which is only the director's cut of the game to promote Sonic Advance. It wasn't in the original Dreamcast version. So you upgraded, and now you have to wait. Also, this boss is kind of funny. You kind of turn around a couple times. I think it's the most tied Isle World record with 8 people on it, I think.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I wonder
Yeah, the best time you can get is a 10:36, I believe, and I mean that is just excluding the people from TSC that already all did it, I think. So we have like a lot of people on SRC kind of in the board having a title record, but there's a lot of people that have it, which is really cool to see like all the gamers at the same place for the Isle World record.
Now we have the Shovel Claws on the Shovel Claws. That's crazy.
It's true. Shovel Claws is now running with the Shovel Claws.
Yeah, and the Monkey Destruction Switch. Specifically designed to destroy monkeys.
Ain't nothing else better than that for the Switch. I mean, there's nothing else I think that this Switch can do. I mean, so far as we know, but maybe one day we'll find some use with that. Maybe a clip or something. I don't know.
You can throw the Switch into the monkey instead of just putting it down.
True. Ooh, good. Good knowledge there from Shovel Claws, checking the bottom at the start, because Red Mountain is a height stage, which means that if you're going directly to the bottom and you don't have any pieces, as soon as you grab a piece, it kind of saves your position from the last piece that you grabbed. So if Claws was to get any pieces to the bottom, it would be very unfortunate to grab them first and then have to climb up the entire way to go to the volcano. So with that knowledge, very well played.
Yeah.
Are we gonna get it big here? Maybe?
Oh?
Unfortunate.
Okay, we got one.
Oh, a second one?
Second one? Okay, that's a little luckier, but you can dig for capsules, both in the overworld and in levels on diggable surfaces. It's very rare, but one of the capsules you can possibly dig up is Speed Shoes, which actually does save time if you are lucky enough. You can also dig it up, trying to dig up the Monkey Destruction Switch, or the unfortunate Phantom hit on Sonic, but we're chilling. Hit him a bit too soon. He'll just refresh his invincibility frames. He's gotta wait a little longer. Speaking of waiting, Chaos War. He's gotta wait for this guy to come out 5 times. Very predictable when he does so. Just keep gliding around.
We're just gliding around in the air. The reason why we will see Claws going around in the air at very specific points on Chaos, which is when Chaos wants to attack, right?
Yeah.
Is because on Sonic Story there's an attack basically called Blue Balls that will make you waste around 9 seconds to 10 seconds every time that you get it, and it's mainly RNG, right? You cannot really control that, you cannot really do any manipulation with it, but when you have Knuckles, that is possible to manipulate it. But if you do it too late and you get into the air too late, you can still get Blue Balls, which is a little bit unfortunate, but it can happen. If Chaos really wanted to do Blue Balls, it happened to me in my All Stories PB. It's just very unfortunate.
Yeah.
But normally, if you have average luck and not necessarily just get very unlucky, you're able to pretty much skip any attacks that are not the splash attacks, which are exactly what Claws just got right there, by staying in the air and flying around.
One more attack. Chaos to the surface. Smack him in the noggin once more. And we're done with Chaos 4. We've seen 3 Chaos 4 fights thus far, and we're done with all of them. Now, we talk a lot about level times, but equally important as your movement around the hub worlds, and this is one of the more challenging ones in the entire All Stories run.
Absolutely.
You basically have to take 2 items, the gold key and the silver key, to the entrance to Lost World in order to open it. There is no skip here. Just kind of have to deal with it. Claw's waiting there a little bit, because if you do go too far too fast as the key is floating in, it will go out of draw distance and it will just be back at the start where Knuckles first picked it up. It's really sad. So thankfully we had a little bit of trigger discipline. We got the silver key, which is a surprisingly tough hallway to navigate. We made it out in good time.
Forest is really, really hard, yeah. Forest or jungle, whatever you want to call it, is really, really hard.
Now, this is the most technical, piece knowledge demanding stage in Knuckles.
But we don't.
But we don't care.
Yeah, we don't really care about the pieces. Yep. And now Knuckles stands on no ground. Congratulations, you just defeated Gravity.
Awesome.
With the thumbs up from Shovel Claws. knowing damn well that this is not supposed to be happening on a normal casual gameplay, and this is basically only possible because there's an exit for Sonic in Lost World, and finishing the stage with the Emerald is not necessary since you can basically just complete it via the Sonic ending. It's as simple as that. And if you're wondering why Knuckles is under the ground, well, that's mainly because Knuckles is not necessarily supposed to be there, but, you know, that's just a detail.
Yeah. Just setting some defaults, you know.
Just a subtle one.
Yeah. Lost World is a very slow stage to get blitzed because any of the 3 piece 3s, you will guaranteed have one piece at the top of the room. So you have to climb all the way up there. Whereas if you do the cliff, you're just kind of climbing to the middle of the room. And so it's faster than pretty much anything conceivable that you can get. So that's your one RNG-less stage. Coming up we have Skydeck. Well, the Skydeck's primary mechanic is it has these garages. And they open up and start spewing out debris when you tilt the ship. Nice. And
Door
you have the
frame.
door there.
Let's go. Just staring at the wall a little bit. Oh, this is
No
not
pain,
looking
so
too
we're not
good.
going to tilt the
Oh,
ship.
wait, hold on. Oh, we got a piece 2 there. That's really good. Okay, I think Claws reset there to get a better lineup. Oh, yeah, there we go. Cannon. Then Skydeck is a very unfortunate stage to go around with. It can be very, very scary to move around. We got a very nice piece 2 there, and the piece 1 is guaranteed to be in the O2 gate right there, since you didn't get anything at the start. The only piece 1s that are at the end are this one, so if you are not getting a piece 1 right as you spawn on both sides, then that means that the only piece 1 that you will get in the stage will be in the gate. But pretty much went around the same thing, but it's, yeah, it's really how it is.
Yeah. And since we didn't collect a ring at the very start, we get a ring going into the final boss, Chaos 6. Just by kind of luck of the draw of Knuckles being positioned there during that cutscene just after Skydeck.
I finally found all of the
Now,
missing
Chaos
emerald
6, Eggman is a dum-dum. Like, why does he design freezing weapons when he knows Chaos is made of water? Like, what was he trying to accomplish here? Like,
This is not. I mean, there had to be a way for Eggman to screw this plan up. I mean, he always ends up doing it. It's smart to create these beetles because they could be useful for so many things. But why drop them as soon as you're fighting an aquatic monster? I mean, at this point, it's confusing. But also, where are these when we fight Perfect Chaos to freeze the water?
you know? There's too much water, though.
Too much water. 7.8 out of 10. Okay,
That's
that's just an
Knuckles'
old
story.
reference. Great Knuckles story, yeah, good showcase. I believe that'll be all for me on commentary, but I suppose a great gamer will come replace me, so thank you guys for having me on Sonic Story and on commentary. Spacebar is eating something. Hopefully you guys have a nice one. Thank you once again.
No way, it's me, back on comms. I love Amy.
Yeah?
I believe Mimic is joining me, so I'm dragging him in.
Hey.
Thanks for commentary, Labrys.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you.
Yeah.
We'll be back later.
Yep.
Anyways, hi Mimic. Welcome
Hello.
to There's some crazy stuff already
Oh.
happening. We skipped
Right
Green
side.
already. Also, shout out to Shovel Claws running Amy. And then clip through that wall, avoiding some of the casino area. Then we're gonna hop on this yellow car to hammer flip into Sonic. Basic Amy movement is pretty simple. You'll see us jumping everywhere and trying to otherwise try to stay in the air pretty consistently because airspeed is a bit faster. Otherwise, here's Castle Skip. We're gonna hope Spacebar can hit it pretty fast because this will skip a lot of the stage. Good setup here. We're gonna use a bunch of level geometry to hop around and clean. Awesome.
Yeah, that was clean.
And missing the balloon. What's the point? He's throwing. Really, really good Twinkle Park there. That's definitely one of the hardest skips in the game. Many people agree that Amy is the hardest story in the game. So this run is really, really high skill, especially going into this next stage. But first, we have a Hedgehog Hammer.
I love hammers.
I love Hedgehog Hammer. We'll see if Spacebar gets trolled, but we just want to hit 2k points. So this is pretty slow.
The RNG is scary.
Yeah,
Okay.
true. Alright, he looks fine. There is a skip at the end of Hedgehog Hammer where if Spacebar comes over and Pause Champ, I don't know if he's doing it, talks to this monitor, it will give him control during this small cutscene after you beat Hedgehog Hammer. Then he'll position himself right here, go forward, and try to clip through the wall, and boom, Hedgehog Hammer skip. That saves a good little bit of time, not too much, but it's like 3 seconds, 2 seconds. And welcome to Hot Shelter. Clip out of the elevator there, clip out of the door there to avoid some handle spins. We'll see handle spins in a second here because we can't skip this second one. But just launch yourself across the floor. Spin this little handlebar to open up the door, and hop on over this big old gap. This one requires a specific pattern. I don't know what it is because I'm a bad Amy runner.
1 left, 3 rights.
Thank God we have an actually skilled Amy runner here. Then launch himself off those slopes to get into Act 2. This is bathroom break. The bathroom door will just push you through the wall and we can fall down to the main stage.
Left side.
Left side. Getting stuck on the gear there. Quite common on that part. And it again. Boom, easy. Gonna run on this gear because Amy's much faster running on slopes. You can kind of already see it there, but we're gonna do that. Use that fact to do the next couple of skips here. That was
a good one.
I forget the name for that skip. Tragic.
Bridge skip.
Bridge skip. Thank you. This is pasta skip. And clip through the wall. Easy. Just skip that entire puzzle. We're gonna skip both of the puzzles.
Monkey. Let's go, no monkey.
Let's go, no monkey. That monkey can hit you very easily. It's very annoying. I'm gonna launch ourselves off that slope and use the downward hover frames to push Amy through an invisible wall and into the wall there to finish the stage. That was a really, really good Hot Shelter outside of that one little death. That one restart, rather. That was really, really good, actually.
144 is pretty decent, and yeah, now we're just seeing some up movement. A lot of up movement before final A.
Yeah, Amy unfortunately only has 3 stages, which is honestly fine because Amy's already really difficult with just 3 stages, but we also want more Amy stages. Because Amy is actually really cool.
Best movement
Definitely.
in the game.
Best movement once you're good at it. A lot of people casually, I find, really don't like Amy. And that's because they're playing it casually, which is, yeah, that's fair, honestly.
Skill issue.
Skill issue, true. But yeah, all this hub movement, pretty straightforward. Going through the forest to get to the last stage. There is a cool strat up here coming up. Like I said, Amy moves faster on slopes, and we're going to use that to launch herself off that little slope on the rock there. Do that again up here to climb over. And boom. That is that.
You think
the funny puzzle to enter final egg, and then boom.
Do you think we're gonna see a wall float?
I would imagine. So Amy recently, last year-ish, went through a bit of a revolution as people aimed for the first ever sub 9-minute time. And this was the skip that allowed it as long as spacebar goes for it. We'll see. Looks like he's lining up for banana clip. We can squeeze through this wall by lining ourselves up. That's a pretty precise trick, so nice to get it first try. And then here we're going to look down and then turn around in literally like 2 or 3 frames. It's pretty precise. And we use pause buffering to make it a bit easier. And when we do that, Amy will just float up the wall. And spacebar, not hitting it yet. Honestly, this is fair because this trick is really, really difficult. He'll get it eventually. Thankfully, you're not like risking anything by going for it a bunch. Almost, it's very finicky.
Yeah.
And it looks like that's good.
It would
and
be
once we're at the
sad
top of the wall,
for the elevator.
nice.
Okay, no elevator.
Clip back in, no elevator. We skip a big portion of the stage by doing that. We have to wait on this very long elevator. And then here is the RNG element of Amy. We have 5 doors, and we're hoping to get first door. No first door, tragic. So now we're just gonna open up the first door, or the other doors. No second door.
Door 4?
Door 3. Yeah, that can make or break your run if you get bad RNG. Really is just the nail in the coffin of play the entire run perfectly, but also there's RNG right at the very end. Definitely makes the run way harder for no reason. But more hub movement here. That was honestly a pretty solid final egg. Wall flip is very, very difficult. Getting it within the first few tries is pretty solid. More slope shenanigans here to get up on the jungle rooftop a bit faster.
The movement there is so good.
It's actually super satisfying when you hit it well. It's the worst thing ever when you fail it, but I guess that's true of all speedruns.
What a thrill.
What a thrill! The ladder climb is awesome. We're on our way to the final boss, so after we exit this minecart, we're gonna have just a bit more of hub movement. And the final boss is Zero. The entire story, Amy gets chased around by this big metal robot. As opposed to non-metal robots. So we're gonna take the wrath on over to our arch nemesis, Zero. Zero wants the bird that we're protecting the whole time, I think. Because the bird has a Chaos Emerald, and of course Eggman wants those. But Zero has a very cool strat where he can hit him as soon as he becomes vulnerable, and then push him into the wall by just running into him, and then hitting him once again, and push him back into the wall there, and boom, that is Zero done, and Amy's story done.
Yeah, that
Looks
was
like it's
really
time
good.
for big. That was really good. That was a really, really solid Amy time. But it's time for Gamma. Actually, I'm wrong. So goodbye, Mimic. You're gonna go do Gamma now.
Yeah.
Labrys is joining me. Or wait, no, it's Big Story. I was wrong.
Yeah, it's big.
It's big. True.
Big.
I didn't know that. All right, it's Allegro. So Yoshi is gonna join you on comms. I'm leaving. Goodbye forever.
Goodbye. Yo, Yoshi.
Yo, what's up? And now we are on to Big Story.
Yep.
So this is the shortest of the categories aside from Supersonic. The shortest of like the main 6, if you would think of it that way. But Big is deceptive. Like Big is very simple on the surface. You just jump around, you just catch Froggy a couple times and it's over. Actually, playing Big is a completely different story entirely. It's a completely different can of worms. So seeing like Allegro go through here is going to be very interesting.
Do you think Allegro will go for insta-catch?
That would be sick. And also, insta-catch, I guess there's no real risk in going for it either, so that makes sense. Allegro could go for it. And for those who don't know, for catching Froggy, if you, I believe it's a 2-frame window. If you have both triggers pressed the same, oh, let's go, Linger went for it. But if you press both triggers at the same, well, technically I have one held down and the other just pressed within, I believe it's a 2-frame window, you can instantly bring Froggy in. And you don't have to play any reeling minigame. But it is ridiculously precise. Big runners generally reset to it. That's just one of the things that goes beyond the surface of Big, where you're like, oh, I guess you can instantly catch Froggy. Nope, that's almost frame perfect. But still played Twinkle Park really well there, so.
At least we can skip the cutscene.
True, that is true. I wonder if Allegra's also going to go for the... I don't know that it's necessarily called this, I can't exactly remember, but the backwards, like, dash you can do by casting Big Rod, like, backwards in front of the ice cap entrance. Like, does that make sense? You know what I'm talking about?
No.
It's found by Pasta. It's kind of difficult to explain. It makes sense when you see it, but... Also, it may be hard to tell from watching, but also Big is by far the stiffest character to control, so even going over like a simple structure of rocks is incredibly complicated.
Yeah, you can actually feel it, and it's... yeah.
And you can fly for 2 seconds.
Yep.
Oh, and was it Big or Gamma who has the fastest ladder climbing speed? I can't remember which of the two it was.
It's Big.
Alright, yeah, let's go. Love stuff like that. Ice Cap already got the catch and the hit. They're pretty close real distance. Sometimes Froggy also randomly resists you, which is nothing as a big run you just have to deal with. Oh yeah, Gamma was the slow one, yeah.
We love jumping.
Get all of it. We have not one but 2 characters who are generally better off in the air on a constant jumping basis. Very cool. And close to getting that jump there. You can't get Big to snap up onto that ledge as you're going to Emerald Coast here.
Where are we going right now?
Emerald Coast?
Let's go.
Go!
Popular Game Grump clips.
Yep. But Allegra's gonna make it into easy work because he's really good at Big Story. Simply immediately gets Froggy's attention at a 6-meter reel, midway through 4 into actually no 3, my bad. Yeah, it is that quick and easy.
Yeah.
The joys of speedrunning. You do not actually have to sit through Big very long if you go through it quickly. Yeah, also, Big gets a lot of fun speed when he jumps down slopes like that, so...
Yeah, it's like a slow character, but suddenly, oh, I'm fast.
Hot Shelter is a unique stage for Big, because it's compared to the other levels, a shocking amount of you actually have to move more than 2 seconds to get to the point where Froggy is at.
It's crazy how big the stages are, but like, you don't even need to go that far in any of them.
Yeah. Froggy's just conveniently right there. And even now, like you're going to be getting a head start by already being in the water casting real early, and Froggy's just going to magically appear. That was such a good reel. That was like
Yeah.
instant. Very good distance management there. And now Big's 4 stages are complete. We just have to travel back to the past real quick and then hit up the Chaos 6 boss fight. Which honestly I still love. I still love how Big does Chaos 6 because we've already seen how Sonic and Knuckles do it with throwing freezies, but we don't need any of that with Big. And we'll get there pretty soon here once we get out of this flashback.
Mm. Do you think Froggy enjoys being with Big?
I'm not sure because half the time it looks like he's running away from him, but I don't know if that's just how they animated it. Like at the beginning and end, Froggy seems alright, but like in some cut, if you actually sit through all of the cutscenes, you're like you begin to feel bad for Froggy. You can't tell if he's trying to be rescued or he's trying to get away. It's hard to tell.
Yeah. Poor Froggy.
Yeah. So instead of using freezies, we just cast into Chaos 6 and boom.
That was fast.
Yeah, that was very, very good. Literally just a couple seconds, basically. Then we hit the plane, and now the story's over.
Oh, it's gonna be my turn. I need to prepare myself mentally. Oh. That's me.
Go. Next we'll have Gamma.
Hello, chat. I think Labras is supposed to be here with me, but he's currently muted in the Discord, so... welcome to Gamma. Gamma is very cool. He's a robot. So, first stage here, final egg. Weird that it's the first stage. We're watching the full cutscene, baby. Let's go, Mimic. This stage has a funny strat. When we enter mode change with Gamma, which is just a faster movement, we can attach to the funny rubber band there, blocking our fall, and we can launch ourselves deeper into the level right at the end using Scoob Skip. Let's go, Mimic, my goat. That was final egg. Very short level. Next up, we have... I forget this boss's name. Man, if only I were a good Gamma runner. Tragic. E101 Beta. I figured it out. But yeah, this boss is pretty straightforward. Just shoot him 3 times and hope he doesn't jump, because if he jumps, that's time loss. Once we beat him, Eggman will send us on our first mission, which is to find Froggy, the fish frog that we've been fishing up this whole time with Big. Thankfully for us, we will just head on over to Emerald Coast and we can find him pretty easily. No way, it's Alpha. Hello.
Hello. I
So,
just back a little bit, but yeah, go on.
Here in Emerald Coast, we have a strat coming up called Pillars. And easy, Mimic's a god gamer. We just jump on those pillars. It skips a good portion of the stage. It is pretty nice. Pretty nice indeed. But there's Froggy. Caught him. Pillars is actually really, really deceptively hard. It is not as easy as it looks. Now Gamma's in the past. No way. Awesome. Gamma's story is quite interesting because it's all about him gaining sentience and essentially performing a revolution from inside of Eggman's headquarters. So we're going to be killing a lot of people, a lot of robots rather, to free the animals inside of them because Gamma realizes there's an animal inside of him. So after talking to Amy, we're gonna hop up, grab the what's this upgrade
The
called?
jet booster.
Jet booster, thank you. Anyways, so gonna grab the jet booster, which allows us to do some funny stuff. Gamma is a very unique story in this game because we don't actually play his stages in order. So if we run against this wall, get a good angle, we can jump out of bounds, and if we glide around, we can enter into Hot Shelter. Hot Shelter is actually Gamma's final stage, which, if the game basically gets all confused when you do the stages out of order. So we'll see that after Hot Shelter. But first, we have to actually get through Hot Shelter. So Mimic's going to make his way through the stage, get a good, nice clip on both of those walls to go through the stage pretty quickly. Then here, he's going to turn to the right, and he tried to do the funny strat where he runs up this wall, but instead he's just going to do the basic wall ride, where using the gravity the game gives you on slopes, just going to run up that wall and then jump at the top to clip out. Then we're going to come over to this wall, touch just the tip of our head at the bottom, and then clip back in. Now
nice.
we're at the stage boss. What's this boss's name? E101, E105 Zeta. I really don't know anything about this game. Huh?
You can just say it. I'm not even sure, honestly. We could probably see it. I totally forgot the numbers. Because, I mean, this is with Glitch Route, right? So, I mean, it's the last one for sure. I guess if it's E101, then there's E102, right? E102 Beta? No, E102 is
No
down.
idea.
E101. So then E103 will be Windy Valley, I assume. And Red Mountain would be E104, so that would be E105 Zeta.
Regardless, we're going to quit out to the trial menu. The trial menu just lets you replay stages in a nice, very convenient way. But whenever you beat a Hot Shelter, the game gets very confused. It thinks that since you've beaten the last stage, surely you must have beaten the 4th stage. And so it lets you play the 4th stage. And when you beat the 4th stage, Red Mountain here, where we just clip out of bounds and glide our way to the boss, E104, the game, like, surely this is fine. You must have beaten the 3rd stage, too. So it'll give you the 3rd stage in trial menu. Of course, this would all be useless if beating the stages didn't do anything. Thankfully for us, when we beat the stages, they set certain story flags that will let us progress through the game's story. Which means that we can cut out basically all of the hub movement. There's very little left afterwards, which we'll see once we get through Windy Valley next. But Red Mountain done very, very fast. That clip out is pretty tricky, actually. Shout out to FreeCam Gang, because Mimic plays this stage in FreeCam for some reason. But
Although I
Windy
don't
Valley,
agree, but yeah.
I don't think any of us do, but Windy Valley, pretty straightforward. We're going to push ourselves against that invisible wall, and it just lets us out of bounds. Mimic is going insane, talking to himself.
Classic Mimic
My
moment.
goat.
I mean, just
Classic
singing
Mimic.
around.
But yeah, we're just going to skip all of Gamma's Windy Valley, too. I know we skipped Sonic's Windy Valley with Gamma's Windy Valley. You're not going to see Gamma's Windy Valley either way. It doesn't matter. But yeah, just beat up E103 here. Hope, again, that he doesn't jump. I don't think he's gotten a single jump, actually, which is pretty epic.
So far, this Gamma story is pretty
Actually,
good.
really good.
Yeah. I think the only mistake
first try
was
on
the
every
wall
trick.
ride. Yeah, it was wall ride. I think the attempt. I
Yeah,
think that
wall
was the
ride
only...
he missed, but like everything else has been really good.
Now, if we can get early shot on this run, this is definitely
Early
like
shot would make it like goated.
I'd say like sub 10 pace probably, or really close if not.
Really close. But after we beat all of the trial menu story stages, we're gonna load back into the story to complete the story entirely. Because of course this is a Gamma story speedrun. Can't just beat all the stages and call it a day. We have to beat the final boss too. Fortunately, Sonic is not the final boss. That would be a really bad final boss. But after Sonic, we'll be taken to the Mystic Ruins. Here, the game wants you to complete Windy Valley. But we've already done that, so if you just take a quick death by jumping off the side of Mystic Ruins, the game is like, oh, you've been Windy Valley. Okay, let's set this story flag for that cutscene of the wall on Angel Island crumbling. Why is he riding on the wall? Yeah, okay. Mimic just does things, I guess. But now we're gonna go through Angel Island, and we have to enter Red Mountain here to kind of trick the game into setting the story flag that we want. So enter and then exit, have this cutscene. And then once again, we're going to take a death here, but not to set any story flags. It's the same reason we take a death with Knuckles, to warp back up to the tunnel. That way we don't have to do that long hub movement section. Then we're going to do the same thing that Amy did earlier and jump off to this raft. Do a quick hover right before to not get trolled by the water physics. But here we don't have to do anything. For some reason the game just sets all the story flags automatically. You don't have to enter any stages or anything. You just enter the egg carrier that's now sunken. And then you have the final boss. And here there's a Oh my god.
Oh my
There's a frame-perfect
goodness.
trick there that skips a phase of this boss, Mark II. And, of course, Mimic hit it without any trouble. It's faster to restart this boss multiple times to hit that strat than it is to miss it once and just call it a day. It saves a lot of time, and this run is very good now because he's hit it. Granted, it was very good before. Regardless, this boss fight is pretty straightforward. Just damage boost his funny missile attacks. And otherwise, we're gonna get ready on Supersonic Story by the one and only Spec Wii. But love Gamma. Gamma's so cool. The ending here is quite tragic. Spoiler alert. Gamma kills all of his robot brethren, and then he takes his own life because there's an animal inside him too. And then the story ends with this very, very adorable little postcard of the animals that were inside him being all happy again. It's the bird from Amy's story too. But that was Gamma. Let's go, Mimic. Cracked run. I believe the last two commentators will be Yoshi and Allegro. So,
I don't know if it's going to work. Hopefully it does.
Magic. Hopefully, we'll see.
We will try to make it work. But
No
Spec
Sonic
couldn't
story.
make it out. Spec couldn't make it out today, so we're gonna try to make this happen.
Spec pre-recorded this run because he wasn't able to come in person. Tragic.
It doesn't seem
Let's
like
see.
it
way.
works right now.
Okay, Alpha, you know what to do. Boot up the Sonic story.
Alright, we're gonna ask Yoshi to do it. I believe because
No way, we're gonna get Yoshi?
Okay, we're gonna have Yoshi. Just give me a second. We're gonna find out.
Okay, I'll go.
There
I'll
we
go,
go.
hang out and wait.
Hold on, give me a second. We're gonna make this all perfect and ready to go in a second. We're gonna have Yoshi
Epic door
instead
moment.
of Spec here, unfortunately.
Tragic.
But Yoshi is very, very good at this particular category. I believe
No
he's
Spec Wii. What's the
Now we get
fucking
to
point?
do
Or,
all the
I can
temples.
say that.
Let's go.
It's a video. Who cares?
It's okay. It's okay.
Also, shout out to Spec Wii recording his run on Xbox. Anyway,
Yeah, I
we
believe
should
that was
just get
probably-
everyone in the live channel.
Ooh, absolutely. I'm gonna go ask them. I'll be right back.
Anyway, hello chat. This is Supersonic Story by definitely not Spec Wii. Supersonic is just the final story, the final
Nice.
culmination of all of the game's lore. Basically, Chaos has obtained all of the Chaos Emeralds, and that's a small problem, slight problem. So, Yoshi Puff loading in. Supersonic is kind of a glorified IL, at least if you ask most people.
Seems like the commentators are taking a break, apparently, so I'm going
Tragic.
to do it again, yeah.
Awesome. I'm okay with this. But yeah, we're gonna head on over to Angel Island, and on Angel Island, we'll meet two of our bestest friends. We'll have Knuckles, who is dead in the corner, and Eggman, who's right beside him. And we're gonna be taken to the past afterwards, where we're gonna try to save Takao. There's a little cutscene glitch trick here, where you can skip a cutscene. I believe Yoshi didn't get it, but maybe he did, and I'm just not good at this game. I don't know Supersonic that well. Regardless, out of pass now, we're gonna take a quick death once again, I believe, to warp to the top of the Angel Island tunnel here. Game just doesn't like setting your death points correctly, so, you know, fun. I'm not complaining, it's faster. Then we're going to enter the jungle where we can find the 7th Chaos Emerald, but somehow Chaos gets it first, and this is Perfect Chaos. Perfect Chaos is the final boss of the game. Once we defeat him, that will be time for the run. So, we're supersonic now, using the positive energy of the Chaos Emeralds or something, and Chaos using the negative energy. We will want to avoid all of Chaos's attack, because they will slow us down. We have to be going a certain speed in order to actually hit Chaos. Fortunately for us, it won't be too big a problem most of the time. We have some easy ways to make to get a lot of speed. Hit these boosters, for example. And then Yoshi might not go for the stylish stuff. No way, he did. Jumping on that little rail saves a bit of animation of us hitting Chaos. You get the little swirl around his body. Thankfully, he's made of water, so it's pretty easy to just swim inside him. It's kind of weird, kind of disturbing if you think about it a little bit. But yeah, just clean execution. And that was our first quick hit. Good way to wrap up phase 1. If you click back, or if you hit down on the analog stick as you hit Chaos, Sonic will basically just turn around and go straight for his head instead of doing the little twirl up his body. It's a very small time save, but in a category as optimized as this, you need all of them that you can get. And there's our second. Hits. Let's go.
We're gonna see a house.
Oh, pain. The second phase is really brutal because for some reason Perfect Chaos just gets like way more powerful and way stronger. Thankfully, Yoshi able to clutch it out, able to get that hit. I believe this is the last hit.
Time should be coming up very, very soon. This is
shout out to
like
the very bad OST in this part. No quick hit and time,
that is time 136:42.5 for Team NA. I guess we can call it Team North America.
Team NA, no way.
Yeah. I mean, it is how it
Europeans. I can't say that. This is a GDQ submission video. A ban from Zacer.
Goodbye. It's over.
Goodbye.
All right. Well, thank you so much for watching, everyone. This was a really, really great showcase. I really enjoyed watching it. I do believe that we will have some very, very cool gameplay from SADX on Bingo very soon. It looks like it's a little bit hard to schedule everyone, but we will have a lot more cool gameplay coming up soon. And if you're watching from the GDQ submission, thank you for watching this video. We all really appreciate that. We had a lot of fun playing around this game and scheduling this and doing everything as a team. And we hope we can showcase it all as a team together. And
love the homies.
Absolutely. So once again, Spec now seems to be streaming. He has face cam, so we're going to send him his reaction. I do believe that he might have forgotten a few things. We don't blame him for that. It was normal. It's a little bit hard.
Spec-Wee.
Absolutely. He has weird PC issues these times around, and it was a bit hard for him to schedule everything together. So we're going to go give him some love. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. And if we can have some words from everyone in here before we go. Do you guys have any last words?